All right, welcome in to episode 52. Welcome back. I know you have not seen me in a while. My apologies. I don't think I've recorded an episode in probably close to a month. So my apologies on that, and my apologies for the delay in general. I know I recorded an interview last episode on, I think it was the third of the month, I want to say. Maybe I think I dropped it the fifth or something like that. I had a wedding to go to for family 2 weeks ago, so I was out of state. And then last week, I didn't have a ton of time, but then I actually did record an episode last week, but my phone wouldn't let me upload it on Spotify like normal. So I don't know why. It was weird and annoying, but nonetheless, we're back. Welcome back. My apologies again for the delay, but the show must go on, the pod must go on. So we're back today. What did I say? Episode 52. Yeah, we're officially at the mark I'd be at if I was consistently recording one episode a week, like I had hoped to do. But yeah, hope you all have had a nice week, nice couple weeks. I know since I last spoke to you on Spotify. If you have not listened to my last my last episode, I was gonna say interview. Episode it is an interview, episode 51 with Alyssa Bergamini, White Sox in-game host. You should go listen to that. Very fun episode. Really enjoyed that one. I have another thing episode. I do have another interview coming. I think we're gonna do it next Wednesday. Not gonna reveal who the guest is right now, obviously, but be on the lookout for that. It should be a really fun episode, like they always are, I think. But yeah, hope you all have had a nice time off since I last spoke to y'all, and we can get into it. Like I said, I've been a little bit busy sometimes recently. My apologies on that. Um, yeah, I guess that I recorded an episode. It was on Sunday before the Bears played the Cowboys, and I actually picked the Cowboys to win that game. Uh, yeah, I guess if you want to roast me, you can go ahead and roast me for that because the Bears, they dismantled the Cowboys. But I don't think I want to start with the Bears today. I actually want to start with something else. Um, so I think if you follow me on my socials, um, I definitely posted about this. I was at a little event this week on Tuesday night for DePaul basketball, men's and women's basketball. They had a little event going on. It was like a season ticket holder event. I know some people that have season tickets. Basically, one of them couldn't go, and he messaged me like, "Hey, do you want to take my spot?" Like, sure, why not? Uh, so we both contacted the ticket guy. Shout out Marty. And he let me in. So sometimes I don't know how I get to do the things that I end up doing sometimes, but uh, always a great time at DePaul events. Whether I get to be in the renovated AC, this was not there. This was at the if you've ever seen that skyline like Chicago basketball court, it's in 167 North Green Street, like I think West Loop, pretty much. Um, Yeah, it's on like Green Street and I forgot that kind of intersecting street by it. But yeah, it was my first time there. I've seen photos and videos and stuff of people playing there before, and it was really nice. I didn't you know I didn't actually like play much basketball physically there. I was mainly talking with people. Obviously, that's kind of the point of the event, but I still got some shots up and did make a couple threes in front of a couple players. So I was telling some of the staff members I know, if you guys need a shooter on the team this year, I'm your guy. So, but no, always a fun time to see DePaul people, whether it's players who I know, a couple coaches who I have a good relationship with, or in general, just athletic staff members. It's always very friendly, very welcoming. They're very gracious with their time and making sure that the experience is always a fun one and a good one for everyone attending. So yeah, unfortunately, college basketball doesn't start for another what 5 or 6 weeks or so here officially. So definitely looking forward to that. But um, yeah, season hasn't started yet. We still got football for the next few weeks until basketball starts intersecting. But yeah, it's always a fun time. Got to meet some players, got to eat some food. Food was good. I think they catered from it was I think I saw it was like pizza what's it called? Pizzeria Portofino in the River North. What I think whatever that place is called, I think that was where they catered from. Had a little pasta, had a little salad. Their they had cookies that were like the size of my face. Like they were so big. Biggest cookies I've ever seen. I had like two cookies and I genuinely wanted them to just be gone from my plate. Like that's how big they are. Like those times when when you have a really good cookie, you almost like forget you're eating it. I wanted that to go down so fast so I didn't have to look at it anymore. That's how big it was. It was like you see the circumference of my face, how it's a circle. Like it was that big. I'm really not joking. It was that big. So yeah, food was good. People were good. Venue was great. If you, I got a little funny picture, a little fit. If I think I posted it on my social medias. Obviously, if you've seen me in person, I'm like 5'3", so I'm not very tall. You can't tell when I'm recording on my computer, but I'm not a very large or tall human being. Unfortunately, I didn't get those genes, but DePaul has I think 3 7-footers on their team this year. So I got a picture with what was it? Isaiah Medina, one of their freshmen, who's 7 foot. Fabian Flores, who they just signed from Spain. He just got here like 2 days before the event. I think they said he's like 7'3", 7'2", like he's about 7'3", and then come on Makers, another transfer they got. He's I think he's 7'2", so little what like 24-inch height difference pretty much. So yeah, it was a fun time, fun little picture there. I also got to meet Brandon Macklin, who one of their transfers from Radford. I got to talk to him for like 10 minutes. Really great guy. I got to talk to Caleb Banks, one of their other transfers from Tulane. I think he should play a pretty prominent role for this year's DePaul team. He transferred from Tulane. We were talking about New Orleans life and Bourbon Street. I was telling him I've actually been to New Orleans like 6 times back when I was younger, and my parents and I used to travel a lot. So I was joking with him if he had ever gone out on Bourbon Street and had oysters, and he told me he went out a couple times. And I was like, couple times? You gotta go out like a couple times every week. So he got a pretty good laugh out of that conversation. But you know, always grateful for DePaul and not just you know watching watching the games as I'm sure most of you know I do, but the experiences of being able to interact with players and just people that I know from DePaul. It makes it even more exciting and beneficial and worthwhile for me to do what I do. So yeah, start off with that fun little fun time this week. But yeah, I know I previewed kind of the Bears a little bit. Like I said last week, I predicted the Bears to lose to the Cowboys mainly just because I wasn't very confident in the Bears because week one they lost to Minnesota. I think it was by 6 points, and then the week two blowout against Detroit, 52-21, I believe. Well, you lose by 31 points on the road, you're probably not going to have a lot of momentum leading into your next game. So that was kind of where I was at with the Bears. Like I hope the Bears could beat Dallas. Obviously, I'm not hoping they lose, but I just didn't see them winning because of how week two happened and the fact that Dallas has a pretty good offense. But it was the Bears offense that really came to play. Caleb Williams, 4 touchdown passes, 298 yards. Wish he could have got to 300 yards passing, but 2 yards shy will still do, I think. Quarterback rating of 142.6, I believe. Um, just a really good performance, really good bounce back. I'm sure that's what fans were kind of expecting from the jump when Ben Johnson was hired. Hasn't been the smoothest ride so far as kind of evidenced if you've kind of paid attention to how training camp was going. And then the first 2 weeks, obviously the Bears' offense wasn't. They certainly had their moments occasionally at the beginning of the games, but it wasn't fully clicking. You could say that Sunday's performance was pretty much fully clicking on all cylinders. Now, I don't want to say that they're back and like this is gonna be the norm for what they do for the next what 14 games. Like I don't think that's realistic to say or think, but definitely a step in the right direction. You could tell that Caleb was a lot more comfortable. He was playing on time, just in rhythm from the pocket, making checks and protections with the offensive line. Just how he was reading the field, reading his receivers, routes, and just making a lot of really good throws. And that's what you want to see. Like that's why Ben Johnson was brought in here to elevate not just the team but Caleb Williams and hope that the Bears offense can kind of turn into what Johnson had up with the Lions. Scoring kind of at will, just scoring whenever they want. It's certainly nice to see that coming off. Get considering what had happened the previous week against Detroit. Bears were just really sloppy, a lot of penalties. The offensive line, I think, bounced back in a major way versus Dallas. Now, granted, I know Dallas doesn't have the most amazing defense. Shout out Matt Eberflus. Um, but still, in any sport, not just football, but basketball, baseball, football, soccer, whatever, you have to play who's on your schedule. So certainly, I will take this performance over another lackluster, sluggish performance. Like I said, the offensive line bounced back in a major way, which I think helped Caleb immensely. You saw little the little bit of Ben Johnson's Detroit plays with that trick play with the flea flicker that DeAndre Swift threw back to Caleb Williams. Almost didn't make it there to him. It was so high, but then he caught the throwback and fired down to Burden down the field or down the sideline, down the field, and Luther Burden was able to get his first touchdown of his NFL career. So I'm not saying they're going to run flea flickers every week. I don't think they will, but um, it's nice to see that both kind of aspects of the offense were clicking in terms of kind of playing in structure from the pocket, and then also getting a little bit of that creativity that Johnson's pretty well known for. Would be nice if the running game can get going more for the Bears too. I know DeAndre Swift had a couple nice plays, but getting the running game, especially with him and having maybe a little bit better vision at times to see those creases and see those holes whenever he does have them, would be able to, I'm sure, help the play action game too more. So you know can't really complain too much about Sunday's performance. That's pretty much what you wanted, or at least I don't want to say what you were expecting to see, but certainly what you were hoping to see. 31-14 win, and not just the offense scoring 31 points, but the defense playing really good too. Tyreek Stevenson, who had a pretty bad start to his season, had a really big play early in the game against Dallas, stripping Javonte Williams down the left sideline early in the first quarter. Um, I think it was Dallas's first possession. So, getting that early, strip fumble, and really giving the Bears some momentum when they needed it because Jalen Johnson is their star corner. He might be out the rest of the year. We'll kind of see how that goes. But Kyler Gordon, the Bears star nickel, is also out. T.J. Edwards, linebacker, is also out. Tremaine Edmonds, not one but two interceptions on Sunday. I mean, he's a linebacker, so I don't know how many picks he's going to get for the rest of the year, but really good game from Tremaine. He was flying around, tackling guys, picking the ball off. So really good game from the Bears. What you want to see. Cairo Santos had a field goal too. He didn't really have another opportunity because the offense was able to put the ball in the end zone most of the time. So four touchdown passes and free hot dogs for Chicago at the Wiener Circle. Yours truly, me. I was actually trying to go up there on Tuesday after I got off work. Then I got some messages about the DePaul event and realized that I could go to the DePaul event instead of probably waiting an hour for a free hot dog at the Wiener Circle. So, hope everyone enjoyed their hot dogs. I did not get to have one, but hopefully I'll get to go up to the Wiener Circle sometime. Maybe not, maybe it won't be free, but I'll still try their hot dogs. And whether it's hot dogs or not, always great to see the Bears play well. The Bears offense play well, considering that the Bears have largely been known throughout their history as a defensive team and not a offensive prowess. So, yeah, hopefully they can carry that momentum into Las Vegas this week. I know there's going to be a ton of Bears fans there. I won't be there, but ton of Bears fans in Las Vegas. Raiders, not a great team. They just lost to Washington, who had a backup quarterback in Marcus Mariota. So, I, I certainly think that there's some momentum for the Bears. There's some momentum to be had for the Bears coming up on Sunday. I'm not going to say they're going to score 31 points again on Vegas. Maybe they could, but you really just want to see the like Caleb Williams' process of playing quarterback. Pretty much that's what it's going to. Or that's what success should come down to for the Bears. The Raiders have guys like Geno Smith, Ashton Genty. So they've certainly got some guys like Brock Bowers too that can put up points and certainly allow them to have a shot at putting the ball in the end zone on the Bears defense. But if the offense does their job and kind of does maybe something similar process wise to what the Bears did against Dallas last Sunday, I think the Bears will have a good chance at walking out of Allegiant Stadium at 2-2 at 500. And if you told Bears fans, I'm sure after week 2 against Detroit, after that debacle, that after the Vegas game they'd be at 500, they probably would have taken that. So, they can't start off 3-1 or 4-0, but if you start off 2-2 after how the first 2 weeks went, and then you head into the bye, I think that a lot of Bears fans, including myself, will probably take that and accept that. So now they don't always have to be pretty, kind of like they were against Dallas, but as long as you can win, your offense is going to give you a chance. Your defense gives you a chance, like they did. Special teams does what they need to do whenever called upon. Uh, I think that the Bears can win Sunday. I don't know if I should make a prediction considering I made one last week and then it kind of backfired and blew up in my face a little bit, thankfully. But I think the Bears should beat Vegas. I think they have a lot of positive momentum right now. Like I said, there's going to be a ton of Bears fans in Vegas. I think they said they're expecting excuse me to be a 50 like pretty even 50-50 split. So hopefully the pro Bears crowd can kind of get the team going a little bit. I think I know a couple people that are going to be there too. So should be a fun time. Always a fun time in Vegas. I actually went to Vegas when I was very young on a little vacation, but uh, sadly I will not be back on Sunday. But yeah, a battle of two 1-2 teams. Someone's probably going to get to 500 unless they tie. But hopefully that'll be the Bears. You know, coming out of Vegas at 2-2. I hope Caleb Williams continues to progress and play better. Well, not well, obviously play better, but play play well against Vegas, considering that they just gave up um, a loss to a pretty Marcus Mariota is not a world beater, especially that he's a backup now. So hopefully Caleb can kind of replicate his performance last week again. 31 points might not be super sustainable. I don't want to say I'm going to expect that again, but hopefully they can keep dialing up plays that work, whether it's flea flickers or just simple runs or passes that can get the offense driving down the field consistently, because that's what you want, is having a shot to put the ball in the end zone. The Raiders are coached by Pete Carroll. He used to coach the Seahawks for a long time, so it's not going to be easy. Like I said, they've got Geno Smith, Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers, so they've got some players on that team. I'm not expecting the Bears to blow them out if they were to win, but you certainly think that the Bears have a lot of talent, which they do, and a coach in Ben Johnson to be able to get them right and get them continuing their positive momentum that they had against Dallas. So yeah, it's kind of mainly what I wanted to talk about today. Just a little Paul and Bears stuff. Uh, Appreciate you for coming back and listening. Like always, again, my apologies about the little delay for the last couple weeks. But when you have to go to a family wedding in Wisconsin, can't really record. And then last week just didn't have a lot of time, and then I did have time, but I couldn't even upload my own episode. So, yeah, I'm hoping that I get these, or at least that aspect of it fixed here soon. Like I said, I will be back with an interview next. I think we're doing it next Wednesday, the first. So hopefully I can drop it whenever, Wednesday, Thursday, as long as there's no issues. Again, not going to reveal who that guest is yet. You'll have to wait to find out. But someone I've been looking forward to having on. Should be a really fun and informative and enjoyable episode, I think, like they always are. So, yeah, thank you for coming back and listening or watching, like always. I will be back next week, like I said, with you guys. Hope you all have a good rest of your week and weekend. Enjoy this pennant race baseball that we're having. Whether you're a Cubs fan or fan of any MLB team, there's a lot of great baseball going on right now, as well as football, obviously. But the home stretch of baseball, sometimes there's nothing like it. So, yeah, thank you again, and take care. I will see you all next Wednesday.